I'm Olivia Louvel, and I'm here to present the Sculptor Speaks. I mean, obviously I'm a fan of Hepworth, you know. I was going through the book called Writings and Conversations by Sophie Bowness, and I was like, wow, so much material. And so I wanted to start composing on her words. I researched at the British Library, and on the database I saw that they had a file, an audio file called The Sculptor Speaks, and I thought, wow, this looks really intriguing. So I knew the minute I heard it, I said, I have to do something with that. To make this piece, I had to go further, and I had to ask myself, how far do I want a voice to become a musical object, a material, and how far do I want it to become abstract? So all the sounds are pretty much created from the manipulation of her voice, from carving her voice with digital tools. It was wonderful, I have to say, spending such a long time in my studio hearing her voice. I mean, when I hear the piece, I know it by heart, you know, the intonation, the way it fluctuates.
Their thoughts in landscape are always expressed outwardly, and the eternal grace of feeling part of the world around us is expressed by human vitality.
In '61, it was just at the time where you could have a tape recorder at home. I mean, we're so used to that these days, but this was set up in a studio in St. Ives, and she could therefore document a practice surrounded by sculptures. And I think it's interesting to have also documentation with sound, not just documentation in writing, because you enter a different dimension, which is the oral dimension.
Very often I am the figure in the landscape, and my own reaction to environment takes shape as a new form, a new sculpture. I am the figure in the landscape.
Initially, this was a sound piece, but when I went to St. Ives 4 years ago, I collected some footage on the beach. I didn't know at the time this was going to be a material for the visual aspect. I made some slides with some pink acetate in the slides, and I projected the sea onto the wall, and then I reprojected with an analog slide projector the slides, and it creates all those little triangles. And then the geometric line, I wanted something that could develop itself over the duration of the piece, to create a durational meditative feel about it. Having the piece exhibited today, for me it's really exciting to be amongst sculptures, and I'm hoping that people with that piece can access a legacy through an oral dimension. So there's the visual aspect with the sculpture, and there's the writings, but voice can operate as sonic documentation of the legacy of such an artist, and it brings another level of reading.